Here, this is a rather exciting day for the American Theater Wing. You are all lucky recipients of something which we hope will be a new way of thinking about this program.
The idea that the Wing has found a new way to support emerging theater companies across this country is really thrilling.
It is the American Theater Wing, and I've always said Broadway is 3,000 miles long. So I just want to congratulate each and every one of you from the regional theaters for receiving this grant, and more power to you.
I really like the image of Broadway being 3,000 miles long, and that would make us at mile 3,000. The biggest surprise was my audience. There are two different audiences. There's the hardcore audience who have told me, I have learned so much from coming to your theater. I don't know who these playwrights are, but whoever you choose to produce, we're so excited because we end up loving all of them. And then there's the audience that doubles when we do a Terrence McNally season or triples when we do a Wendy Wasserstein season. The challenge I face is in infecting my audiences with the passion that I have.
Out there in the Rocky Mountains, we do theater by great playwrights. The way that this community of Boise, which is my hometown, has been willing to be adventurous and open-minded and desire challenge and complicated storytelling is really satisfying. I hoped that would be the case. That it is a lovely surprise. One of the challenges is doing that kind of work where we are and making the numbers work and not changing that is the kind of work we do to make the numbers work.
1812 Productions, we're a 14-year-old company. We're all comedy all the time. I certainly had an idea about using comedy as a mission when we started, but to see how it can open people and see all the different subjects that we've been able to cover through laughter by making people laugh about them and in that way encouraging dialogue, I think that's been pretty surprising even to me. Our biggest challenge has been kind of educating audiences and talking to people about what theater can be. That it doesn't have to look one specific way. It doesn't have to be in this specific building. Not only is theater many things, but comedy is many things.
Company One is specifically dedicated to a diverse urban audience by producing contemporary, socially provocative work.
I think our single greatest achievement is diversifying the theater-going population and employing a diverse group of artists in Boston.
Though we employ more African-American artists in Boston than any other company, though we represent more cultures on our stage than any other company, getting the audiences from all of these different cultural, ethnic, social, class, these groups, into one space to share stories that represent a broader communities. And to be recognized now, nationally, it says that someone cares about that outside of the small community that we're used to working in a very big way.
About Face Theater creates work that advances the national dialogue on sexuality and gender.
Our work can move through an audience in different ways. When you represent things that are uncomfortable, they respond, they can have big responses. And when you have a talk back after a show and ask people what they think, they're really going to tell you.
To really have a dialogue at this time in an urgent situation, I've got to be out everywhere, having it with as many different people as possible. So our challenge is really what kind of home should we have, and should we find homes actually in cultural institutions throughout Chicagoland so that we're engaging them through theater and through excellence in art.
Curious Theater Company is in its 13th year.
When you go to Curious, you feel like a participant. You're not just walking in the door, seeing a play, and leaving. That there's some context, there's some interaction, there's some opportunity for engagement that goes above and beyond just the lights up and lights down of the theater experience.
We've been a company that's been explicitly committed to growth over our entire history.
To me, it's important that we have done something to demonstrate that artists can live in a Denver, Colorado, or wherever, all across the country, still create vibrant art and still have an opportunity to make their living doing that.
At our theater, we do what really I don't think any other individual theater in Chicago does, which is exclusively showcase playwrights Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, and Asian background. One of our biggest challenges is to show everyone that even if this is a very ethnic or community-specific play, that it's really a much bigger story, the human story. We call ourselves a global theater for a global city. In this global world, how do we make live theater relevant to everyone all over the world, particularly to peoples in the Silk Road communities who may not be able to go to theater?
We do synthesis of different dynamic art forms, lots of movement, lots of storytelling, and it's very close to cinematic thinking on the live stage.
And Washington, D.C. is really blessed with theater supporters with that. And they lined up now. They see our work. It's really unusual, unlike any other theaters. We are doing something that nobody's doing it. This is something new for America as well.
So I hope one day you're going to get a chance to be in Washington, D.C. and make sure to see our shows. Or I'm going to promise you that one day we're going to be here and then make sure you see our shows.
To be included on a national basis means even more than just being a New York theater. So it's really remarkable, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Theater is a social art. It's really about your network. It's really about the people that you work with, top to bottom.
I have 60 young company members down at the Flea now that keep pushing us and keep saying, this is how you keep it vital. Not only have young people in your theater, but listen to them.
It's turned out best when I've been listening and really open to what's going on in the community around me. And watching that community extend has been really delightful and interesting.
We want to be a place, a lighthouse, if you like, for culture in North Carolina.
I think we really dream of a new kind of American regional theater, a theater that really places an emphasis on why we do the work we do and why theater is important in a community. And we're seeing, because this is a community that doesn't have a strong theatrical tradition, we're seeing the impact not only kind of in economic revitalization, but also in the spirit of the community. And we get wonderful comments all the time about how it's changed people's lives. We get comments from married couples who talk about how it provides them an opportunity to be together. We get comments from people who talk about how it's added an importance of story in their life.
We started as a dream, and I think the challenge for us has always been, how do we keep dreaming in a time when money is short and the theater can become an institution, or it can stay as fresh as the day we opened it.
We hope that we have helped to give you a little more attention, a little more recognition, a little more pride in the work that you do. And we hope that, once again, these small contributions reap great rewards. And to use Preston's words, keep dreaming. Thank you all for being here today.